Into this now, and it feels like kind of a limbo week. You're not quite to Boise State yet, but you seem to be finishing up fall camp.
Right.
How would you assess kind of where you're at right now?
Well, where we are is we finished up our scrimmage on Saturday at VMAC, and we purposely had that a little earlier in the day than we normally would scrimmage. We had it almost noontime. So essentially the guys have been off since Saturday at about 2 o'clock. So they were off all day Saturday, the entire day Sunday, pretty much all day today, and came back tonight really energized. Probably the most energy we've had at practice in a while. The guys who had kind of the leg soreness were running faster. It was a physical practice, and I think they got a little boost from moving into their new digs, into a new facility, and they're excited about that. So we just wanted to finish up a couple things here tonight. We're making the transition to Boise starting tomorrow. We won't full-fledged be into Boise tomorrow. That'll really come on Wednesday. But I think the guys are handling it really well. They're appreciative of the time off. They're obviously very appreciative of moving into the new facility. And they really came out tonight and practiced really well. I mean, it was a great practice. I can't wait to see the film.
Anything catch your eye in particular, or what situational things you were
I really
working on?
feel like the defense is reacting well. I mean, what I hoped our defense could be, with all of the athleticism at backer, with some of the speed we have coming off the edge, they're reacting to plays, and when they do, they're closing extremely fast, and the yards are getting harder for the offense because of that. I thought offensively what was encouraging, they were able to hit some more explosive plays today. I think we got some of our legs back with some of our quicker guys, which was good, and all in all, it was a good one. The ball was on the ground once today, but the turnover stuff was good. We got some great work in the red zone, some two-point plays, some goal line situations, so it was a good practice.
Did Saturday clarify any spots for you, or are you not fully at this point yet? Whether it's kickers, rush end, you're not, looking at a few people
we'll
there.
Get there. We'll actually probably going to meet on that here in a little bit to talk kind of just where we're, what does it look like? And we have been talking about it, because a lot of that plays into our special teams too deep as well, of who's going to be playing how many snaps and who we can count on. It's one thing to be a starter on special teams, but if you're going to be playing 60 snaps in the game, it's hard to keep going out there and cover kickoffs and be on punt team and all that. So we have to sort through all that right now, and which we have time to do. But I feel good about where we're at and kind of the nucleus of this team, and then who are the fringe guys that I think if we can really bring them along can help this football team, if not early in the season when we hit October and November.
How does JoJo Mathis fit in? He was a guy who was out running a lot with the ones. Obviously, still a lot of shuffling with the D-line.
JoJo had kind of just taken a little step back later in last week, into Friday and really into the scrimmage on Saturday. And then he came back out tonight with a little rest, a young guy. I don't think he's ever been through 2 weeks of football like we put him through 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks. Came out tonight, had a great practice, and as soon as we had a break, he came up to me and said, "I'm back." So we'll see. We'll see. The key for our guys, just as I touched on with them, was my job the next 3 or 4 days is to assess the guys that can really show courage when it gets hard again. Tonight was great, and I loved it because they were all fresh and energized and flying around and having fun. Now here comes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I want to be able to see who are those guys that I know I can count on that are going to show the courage and be disciplined to do things the right way when it gets hard, because the games are going to be hard.
Is Mathis more of a pass rush person? How do you see his?
Well, I like JoJo's explosiveness just coming off the football in general. I think he's explosive. He uses his hands really well for a young guy in the run game. And then when it's time to rush the passer, he's got great effort, and he's relentless in his effort, and that's what makes him unique.
What's your reaction when a true freshman comes up to you in the middle of practice and says, "I'm back"?
It was really post-practice, and I said, "Good, I can't wait to see it tomorrow."
Sark, with Eric, his foot still in the boot, and ASJ surgery and whatnot, are there any guys that you feel are just medically, at this point, they just, with loss of practice and things like that, they may not be able to go?
Well, I mean, obviously both of those guys. I mean, it's challenging when you miss that much significant time. Then the challenge for us is when we get them back to get them in football shape. It's one thing to go ride a bike and to do those types of things. It's another to have to line up against Danny Shelton or somebody else and then have to try to block them and all that stuff. So I would think that those two are the real significant ones right now. I don't really see anything else. We have some guys still nicked up, but nothing that should hold them out.
And you mentioned the idea of them coming energized, a lot of it's rest, but maybe going in this weekend and getting their lockers and things like that. With that kind of response, does that give you hope that it can have maybe the same kind of an effect on a game day?
Well, I don't know. I would like to think we've been good at home. I mean, that hasn't been as big of an issue for us. I think we've been 11-2 over the last 2 years playing at home. We've got great fans. They're extremely excited fan base, and they get us fired up and all that. One thing that we'll obviously have to caution with, especially the first time we come out of this tunnel, is not being too hyped up and making sure that we're still focused on our responsibilities and jobs so that we can do them really well.
Did you guys move into your offices too?
Yeah, we moved in. Yeah, we moved in, and it's great. It's great on a lot of fronts. The biggest thing I think everybody notices, the players, coaches, staff, training staff, weight room staff, everybody notices just how efficient the setup is. And I know you guys get a chance to go in, I think, next week to check it out. I think you'll come away saying the same thing, that there's just not wasted time, there's not wasted space. Everything was utilized the right way. I think we're all players, and like I said, everybody included, are really humbled, and to have this facility for us, now we got to put a great product on the field.
Saturday night, did you ever have a minute and reconsider that maybe you should have had Jermaine Kearse returning kicks instead of?
I tried. I talked to DeAndre Goodwin, who's a GA for us now, who lives with Jermaine. I said, man, where was that guy when I was trying to put him back on kicks and he wanted to be on the front line? He was blocking on kickoff return for us. So I'm really happy for Jermaine. He is playing really well. I know we talked about this, I think, about a week ago, but he's just playing well. He's doing it the right way. He's working his tail off. He's staying humble. I'm really happy for him.
Sir, you talked about the functionality of the new digs, and is there maybe an example or two that you can give that really kind of maximize your time and your ability to do your guys' jobs at maximum?
Well, just in comparison to how we were set up before, where our coaches' offices were in Graves Annex on the second floor, our weight room was at the bottom floor of that. Our training room and locker room were over in Heckett Arena, and then our practice field was over here in the stadium. Well, now it's all encompassed in, you walk out of one door, you're into another. The weight room, the training room, the locker room, the team meeting room, and our position meeting rooms are all connected. So there is no wasted time of walking back and forth. It's very efficient.